Welcome to a discussion this afternoon of the Electrostatic Precipitators World Markets Report. It's a report that has been continuously updated by the Mcilvaine company since the 1970s. And of course, a lot has happened in the electrostatic precipitator industry since then. The focus is industrial electrostatic precipitators. So your residential precipitators are not included in this report, and the report includes both the wet electrostatic precipitators as well as the dry electrostatic precipitators. And I just happened to be clicked here on company information, which is on the left-hand side of the report that you would see as you get into the report. And you can see that we are tracking the Chinese precipitator manufacturers, who are now the largest in the world. Even though Alstom and B&W and these other companies are worldwide. In fact, we've been in this Lanzhou precipitator works. In fact, we were in this plant back in 1991, and at the time they had 4,000 people working in the plant just making precipitator plates and parts and complete precipitators. So this kind of dwarfs anything else in the world, and with China installing so many precipitators on its coal-fired boilers and other applications, there's a immediate market for the Chinese precipitators. But company information is the kind of information that we do have in spades, so to speak. And you can go to our networking directory and click on any company, and you can go in by product. So if you're looking just for wrappers or some other aspect of the plant, then you can click on that. So you can click on wrappers and people like Alstom and NWL and so forth. And these are some of the people that are actually using the wrappers. But the main suppliers are people like NWL and FLS. But anyway, you can contact the people at Siemens Environmental Systems and so forth here with through the networking directory, which does give you detailed information on people working at precipitator companies all over the world. One of the more important aspects of the report, of course, is the forecast. And you can forecast any industry, such as coal-fired power, let's say new power plants rather than retrofit, and you can pick a continent, or you can, let's just pick East Asia, and we'll scroll down here and hit submit. And this gives you the very substantial yearly market for electrostatic precipitators in this region. And we have broken it up to an extent by dry and wet precipitators. And you can see the wet precipitators is a relatively small portion of the total. And if we go by industry instead of just power, for East Asia, you can see how we split out again for East Asia. Again, power is the dominant force out of a $3 billion East Asia market, but there are significant opportunities in some of the other areas as well. So the forecasting is another key aspect, and there are about 40 or 50,000 different forecasts. You can go in under corporate news, corporate performance, and we have a monthly electrostatic precipitator newsletter, which is part of all that as well. And as companies are acquired, we report about them. And they have a wet electrostatic precipitator at Turbosonics, and compete with Beltran and a number of the other wet precipitator people. And we get into various other details. I'll just click on one more newsletter so you get some idea of what's going on. And we even get into the technology. This paper presents the argument that precipitators can meet all the new objectives and requirements under the mercury and air toxic standard and under the various other standards. So there is a big potential to just make the electrostatic precipitators more importantly, but efficient. Interestingly enough, in that same issue, we cover a speech by Joe Wang of Long King, and Mcilvaine invited him to a breakfast along with the people that you see listed here, and we discussed the Chinese market, and his opinion was that many of the precipitators would have a tough time meeting the particulate limits. And he says that a number of fabric filters will therefore have to probably be installed. And of course, Long King does have a design to meet the higher efficiency. So this is the level of information that you get, interviews with the experts, and in fact, we even have hot topic webinars in which many of these people are speaking. So you hear on the latest pulse energization systems from NWL and Alstom and other people that furnish them, as well as the latest uses of wet and dry precipitators around the world. So these are webinars that are also included, recordings that are included with the report. And then there's a lot of industry-specific information there. So you get into where they're used in the mining industry, for instance, and then we actually get into an industry analysis. So part of what you actually get with the report are updates for individual segments of the market as well. So you're actually looking at the mining update for March 2013 and finding out who's going to be at the Munich exhibit and some of the details on what some of the mining companies are going to be doing. So that kind of information is also included in the report. And there is a number of different search capabilities as well, and that of course is important. So you can actually go in. We have to get out of the mining forecast here, which we'll do, back into the main report and go in under news. But you can actually go in on the web and click by any kind of an SIC code, and you can go into industrial boilers, for instance, and find out what's going on in terms of the use of precipitators in the industrial boiler segment. And you can see it all sorts of different ways. If you want to see what Alstom or one of the other suppliers is doing, you can go in and search it on that in that manner as well. So you can click any kind of a keyword and go that direction. You can actually add anything on the web. If you wanted to check China, for instance, you can just go in under China and get all the articles that apply, and you can actually sort those, get the most relevant by date as opposed to importance and so forth. So the system, since it has been in use for many, many decades, also has the advantage of lots of input from the major suppliers of precipitators around the world, the end users, many of whom who get the precipitator newsletter, and of course the consultants who participate in our many webinars. I'd like to thank you for taking some time today to listen and view the electrostatic precipitator world markets. You can certainly reach us at 847-784-0012 and talk to Denise Flash, Russ Ardell, or myself, Bob Mcilvaine. Thank you again for your time.